Moore, knee will not practice. Bosa, hamstring will not practice. Garoppolo, foot, no practice. Ridgeway, pec, same thing. Debo, quad will be limited. McCaffrey, knee, limited. Armstead, foot and ankle, limited. Burford, ankle, limited. Go ahead.
What's the update on Jimmy Garoppolo, and what have you found out about his diagnosis?
It's not a Liz Frank. They don't have to do surgery on it. Still going to be a big recovery, but much less than what we anticipated, which is awesome news for him in the offseason. He'll be good to go right away, so it won't be like last year. Really, I mean, there's that way outside chance, late in the playoffs or something like that, but it's just an outside chance. We're not really real optimistic about that, but they didn't rule it out. We got to play that by ear, kind of with our whole roster. I mean, our goal is to get to the playoffs, so we got to make sure we do the best thing possible for that, and that is the issue with IR. And most likely, even if that did happen, he wouldn't be able to come back for that. So we'll see how these IR decisions play out over the next couple of weeks.
So Armstead's sitting out, but today, but is that just precaution? Did he come through the game?
Yeah, he got through the game well. We got to be smart with him so that it doesn't act up like it did earlier in the year, but he had a successful game.
His knee, is it similar to last week?
Yes.
Jimmy, can you confirm there's no ligament damage?
No ligament damage. That was the good thing.
And are you familiar with any bone regenerative treatment that's available for pro athletes, and do you think that would be a potential use here to speed up that process of recovery?
I mean, they do a lot of that stuff. I'm not familiar with any of it, but he's going to do whatever helps.
The word yesterday, I think Adam reported 70 weeks potentially. Is that what you're hearing as well?
At best case scenario, I mean, not to play football 7 to 8 weeks, but to heal.
Is it multiple bones that are fractured, or just one?
I believe just one, but I don't dive into this as hard as you guys ask me. I know it's a serious injury that's most likely keep him out for the year, and I know it was really good news that there was no ligament damage or anything, so he'll be fine once the broken foot heals.
Did they tell you how many weeks to play football, best case?
No, that's they don't do stuff like that. They just say how long it takes to heal, and then usually takes a little bit more after that.
Shortly after Trey Lance got injured, you did an interview with Greg Pop, and he asked you what the plan was for him, and you said it's the same plan, meetings and stuff, he just wouldn't be on the field. But come December, you might get creative with things. What does that mean, and is that still a plan?
I mean, we don't have to get creative because he's in all of our meetings and stuff, so I don't know why I said that, but we're creatively bringing in everything now. So.
What's the biggest change for you guys now with Brock Purdy as your starter?
I mean, we're trying not to make it a drastic change. I mean, they have a similar skill set. We got a lot of confidence in Brock. We've seen him in practice. Our players have, we have, and that's why we were confident in him. But, he hasn't played a ton of football. So there is some unknown out there, but we know he's got the ability to do it. We know he's got the mentality to do it, and don't like how we got to this point, but we're definitely excited about the option that we have.
On Monday, you said you'd be surprised if you put a bid in for Mayfield. Reported that you did. Did you definitely did not put a?
Yeah, we did not.
And I know things could change, but are you pretty well set with at least the 1-2 quarterbacks you've got right now?
Yes. Yeah, we feel good about it.
What's the biggest improvement you've seen from Brock Purdy since he got here?
I mean, he's just been ready at every opportunity he's gotten. He didn't get much in OTAs. Most of that went to Trey and Nate, and whenever he did, you could see what he showed you guys on Sunday. And each time we picked it up, he just showed more of that. He's very aggressive in what he does. Sometimes that can keep both teams in the game, so that's stuff that you got to work on as you play more. But that's where you want to start with it. When a guy can make some plays like he does, he gives you a chance to win. And but we got to figure out what the best way to win with him.
Is that what you liked in the preseason? That aggressive way that he, operates, runs the offense.
Yeah, I like when a play's there that guys aren't scared to make it. They don't hesitate. They don't take a second look at it. They let it rip, and they worry about it after. A lot of guys who just guess do that too. So you got to find out whether they're being aggressive or just if they're deciding then to do it or if they're deciding on Wednesday, and that's a big difference. So. But Brock has been very good with it. He can explain what he sees, and that's why we got a lot of confidence in him.
You mentioned
number of times with Brock that you like the experience, the amount of games that he played in college. How can that experience help in terms of when do you go back and watch college games because you've seen this or that type of thing?
No, I just think when you're a 4-year starter in a pretty big conference, you've just been in some pressure, and you've done it a lot. You have to come in there as a freshman when you're the youngest on the team, and to be able to do that 4 years in a row, you can tell when guys have done that. They've just been under center a bunch. They understand just how to play the game. They've been in it a lot, and they've been in a lot of situations. Now he's got to see there's a huge difference in the league and stuff like that, but you can talk about a lot of things, but you can tell he's been in it, and I think that's how he knows how to play fast.
How big of a challenge does he have this week going against an experienced defensive coordinator like Todd Bowles who can show him so much?
He's got a huge challenge. I mean, Todd alone, but also the talent they have over there. I mean, they stop the run as good as anybody in this league. They've been doing that for a number of years. They're extremely good in their coverages because they can do anything that they want. They're good in man. They have all the blitzes. So Todd's probably going to throw everything at us, and what works, he'll keep doing it until we figure out how to do it better back.
We all see the videos of Trent, some highlights of his blocks. Like every week, it seems like you got something spectacular. Do you do that with the game when you're showing it to the team? Like stop and look at what Trent's done.
Yeah, I mean, we show highlights to get guys pumped up and stuff, and we also show lowlights to keep people humble and to keep people getting better. So, yeah, definitely. He had a bunch of them last Friday, which was really cool because he had a bunch when he had 4 of them last Friday. So we got on him a little bit in our run meeting, which Trent's awesome with. But it was so cool because it was kind of like the same points on some of his highlight ones where he missed that block. Not because he missed it, just choosing the wrong technique the week before, and chose the right technique about 4 times in a row on a few cutbacks, and it was really cool seeing that back to back.
Practice film?
Practice. Oh, no, it was from the New Orleans game, but we reviewed that as the week goes and tie it to our practice film and keep studying it.
How does he respond in the meetings?
Trent always responds good. Trent loves football. He loves to be coached. He's one of the smartest O-linemen I've been around, and so if you're sitting there and talking about something and showing something and not just yelling a coaching point, he's locked in and really appreciates it.
What happened on the Jerome Baker play that Jimmy got hurt on? What should have happened?
Who got hurt on?
Jimmy.
They brought an all-out blitz. What you want to do is ditch it to Debo or Christian right away underneath. But they popped 2 guys out, and those guys had them outside and inside, so they took away our hot routes on that play. And then so you take a sack is what you usually do. You'd love to throw it away and not do it, but they did it too fast, and they're on them too quick. So you take a sack, protect the ball, and Jimmy did an unbelievable job. It kind of is, that play shows kind of how Jimmy is, that he was getting sacked, about to go past the 35-yard line, and how much easier it is for us to be in front of that 35-yard line. He kept his legs going. Got Robbie the field goal, and that's how his foot got caught up.
One more Trent question. How much do you find yourself calling a play? I've got the best left tackle in football, so I can call this play. Does that happen in your head sometimes?
Not really. I mean, sometimes, like, we're going to get this guy out on the edge, but Buda's out there, and Buda will make everyone look silly. Our guy has a chance for him not to make him look silly. Doesn't mean he won't. So maybe like that every once in a while, but you don't usually know where the ball's going, especially, I mean, there's 5 of them there. There's lots of plays that we like to run at Trent because he's pretty good, but half the plays we want to run away from him because we think it's cutting back. But you don't really know that till how the fronts are, how they play the technique. So it's really hard to just run exactly at someone in our offense.
What have your conversations been like with Brock since Sunday, since the game ended? How has he carried himself?
He carries himself the same way. Brock's got a good edge to him. He's quiet, but I think he's more respectful, just being the younger guy in the room and stuff. But you can tell how like the rookies gravitate to him. I mean, he's got good command over them. Our scout team, from Fred and all those guys, they love him. He's aggressive over there. He's not shy in anything he does, but he's fit in with our team well, and he's understood his role, and now it's gotten a lot bigger. But I don't think he changed that. He just keeps being him, and we'll see how it plays out.
What's he been doing like the past 2.5 days in terms of preparation? You said his preparation had him ready for last Sunday. So, I mean, how has he dove in this week?
I mean, he was there the whole time, and I think that's what guys do. They're like, I've been preparing to start, and now I'm starting, so what else more do I have to do? And I tried to tell him just to calm down. Let us do that part. You just keep reacting in there and playing fast and having a clear mind and being ready to be aggressive. And I thought that's what he did great on Sunday. So he's in a different role, so he knows exactly what to expect, but he doesn't have to change much. I mean, he had to prepare a ton. It's real hard to do that week in and week out because that takes so much effort. I couldn't imagine studying all week for a test and then not being allowed to take the test. You do it a few weeks in a row, and some guys eventually roll the dice, and they're like, all right, no, it's not happening. And then in first quarter it happens, and then they can't handle it. Brock was ready for it. He handled it, and that's what he's got to do this week too.
He and Jimmy spent extra time together?
You go ahead.
Okay, thank you. Have he and Jimmy spent any extra time together this week just to prepare and Jimmy to get him even more ready?
Did him and Jimmy? No. Jimmy, I think, will come around being some of the meetings, but he saw how Jimmy did it and what we all gravitated to help Jimmy get ready for Sunday. And now it's his role, which he'll do it his own way. He'll do it a little bit differently. He gets to see how Jimmy does his process, though, and now we got to start adjusting to figuring out what's the best stuff that helps Brock throughout the week.
You compare the difference, the process, you and the coaching staff going from Trey to Jimmy and now from Jimmy to Brock.
I think it was a little bit bigger from Trey to Jimmy, just in terms of the running element that Trey had, just how we looked at a game plan, how we positioned all the formations and stuff to kind of keep him always as a threat as a runner. Jimmy and Brock aren't necessarily running threats, so you don't sit there and design stuff like that, but they're definitely both mobile enough to make plays with their legs.
Tom Brady's playing right now. What do you see from him, and how is he able to do it at age 45? Still be playing at this level?
Because Tom, he plays the position better than anyone ever, and he's definitely the GOAT from what I've ever seen. But I don't say that just because he's won Super Bowls, it's because how he plays the position. The ball always goes to the right spot, and that answer is based off of 1,000 different things. That could be matchups, it could be the coverage, it could be based off of down and distance, the time in the game, how the defense is playing. If you just watch him throughout his whole life, and you see him make a decision, and you see him make a different decision in the second quarter, you see he just has command of the game and knows how to win it and what it takes, whatever that is. He's kind of flawless in his technique, how he gets everyone the ball, and he's done that his whole career. But his throwing mechanics, they only get better each year. So I feel like his arm's stronger now than it was 10 years ago, and his legs move just as good as they did 10 years ago. They weren't great then, but he's extremely efficient and quick in the pocket and knows where to look and knows where to get the ball to, and he's still the best to play.
There were a few plays where, especially it looked like Christian had some choice routes that Brock read really well and had a feel for where he was going to go or sit down. What was your impression of his feel for those types of things and his anticipation?
It was good. Especially because he was trying to hit someone deeper, and the hole was there, but we just got rerouted a little bit, so we couldn't quite get to the hole. And a lot of times when the hole's there, guys will just throw it, and they'll sail over and go to a cover 2 safety, and he was able to wait on it as long as he could, and then he moved the backer and then got it right to Christian. And just a play like that's huge. It's a 2nd and 8 check down, but because of the way you look with your eyes, the timing, how you get there, it's a 9-yard gain instead of a 4-yard gain. And you have plays like that, you never have to see 3rd down, and those are, to me, usually the biggest plays in the game that no one really accounts for.
We had another one of those fourth quarter comebacks on Monday night. Can you prepare for him and what he's able to do?
You just got to realize that I think 8 of their 12 games have been decided on the last play. On the last drive of the game. I don't care what happens. Brady never stops playing quarterback. He's efficient at every single time. If they're down that much, he's going to start being more aggressive, but it's never stupid. And they also have a defense that is built to make you struggle. You're going to have times, hopefully, where you can go on that defense, but you're going to hit lulls, just like New Orleans did. And New Orleans had a couple chances to finish it. They came up just a little bit short. And when that happens versus Tom, that's why he's done it more than anyone.
We reportedly examined everyone Brady's throws from 2019. Probably wasn't the best season of his career with the Patriots. Are you surprised, based on what you saw then, that what he's done since then and that he's still playing?
I'd like to say, of course not, but I think everyone's since then, you're wondering when is the number too high. So, but now, when you watch him, that first week in Tampa, you're like, what the hell was anyone ever thinking? The dude looks the exact same. He did that year. He does when he comes off injuries, and I think he's playing as good now and throwing the ball as well now as I've seen anybody ever do it.
All right, guys, appreciate it.
All right, thanks, guys.